I want to talk today about money because this is something I hear a lot of conversations. It's probably one of the biggest questions I get all the time as people are coming to the different sessions we have and clients. It's always the money is on our mind. But the questions are usually around how much do I need to make? What's the cost of living? What does housing look like? What is the food of cost? Blah, blah, blah. How much do I save? All those kind of things. How much does it cost to ship? But what we don't really talk about is the debts that we have. Because there are still a lot of people who are moving who have debt, credit card debt, mortgages, student loans, all the things, right? And yeah, you can still move and have debt. And hopefully you're not running from your debt. You're just relocating yourself and understanding you still have a financial obligation. And for the most part, your credit card companies, they're not going to hunt you down in another country. They're not going to look for you. So I want to talk to you about today of how not having your financial with a clean slate or even just intact could stop you from going. You can have your passport in hand, your bags packed, and you may not be able to leave this country. Not because you're a criminal, not because you have a criminal record, but because you owe some money that you did not take care of. And for a lot of us, sometimes we owe this money and we know, but we've been ignoring it. We're like, oh, I'll get to it. Oh, I'm going to get to it. And you never get to it. And now the day has come, whether you get to it or not, it is caught up with you. And so I'm going to talk about three things that you need to make sure you do not have dangling over your head, because if you do, your passport could be denied or revoked. And you don't want that to happen. Come on now, we're leaving because we're looking for freedom. You don't want your freedom to be snatched away. So let's get into it. I'm Sable, your bougie girlfriend, and I'm going to give it to you just the way I learned it. Passport denials. This happens when perhaps you have a passport and all of a sudden you can't get it renewed, or you can't get a new passport because you have been denied access to having a passport, or you can get your passport revoked, which typically means that, yeah, I have a passport in my hand. It is absolutely valid for another 3 years or whatever, but it's been canceled or limited on where I can go in it, or even taking away from me. And this is happening on a daily basis. This is not happening. I'm not talking about criminals. If you're a criminal, you got a warrant out for your arrest. Hey, you know you can't go anywhere. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about law-abiding citizens who actually have debt that they have not cleared. And the first one I want to talk to you about is your IRS debt. Owing money in taxes, back taxes, penalties, and interest. If you are owing money to the IRS of the tune of $64,000 or more, you have already gotten a letter that your debt has been certified to the State Department. Now, you probably didn't pay attention to it. You didn't even understand what it meant, but it really does mean something serious. If you are owing $64,000 or more and you have no kind of payment plan, you have not been paying, you're not calling them, you're not answering them, they have sent you a letter, they have tried to put a lien on your account, they have tried to get their money and they can't get it from you, they have certified your debt and told the State Department to not allow your passport to be valid. You can't renew it. And yeah, they may even probably have already revoked it from you. And so if this is you, I want you to call the IRS. I mean, this is not something that's going to like stop you forever and ever, but you got to take care of it before you leave. You're not going to be able to leave. So it's not even a choice of, oh, I'll get to, no, you can't leave without taking care of it. So call the IRS and get a payment plan or pay the thing off. I mean, some of you sold your houses, so pay the thing off, whatever it is. But you can't think that you're not going to attend to this and not go anywhere. You're not going to be able to go anywhere. So you're going to have to get that paid. And so you're going to have to be on a payment plan, and you're going to have to show goodwill that you're going to play this plan, because they're going to wonder, are you going to make one payment and then re-lift it and you're going to run out of the country? So the IRS debt is one. The second one, if you owe money on child support, and I hear all the stories about, I'm tired of paying all that money. They're not even using it for the child. They're using it for everything else. I don't know what they're using the money for. I'm not getting into that conversation with you, but the conversation I want to have with you is, please go ahead and pay that, because if you didn't, you can't go anywhere. That is something that can hold you up. They can block your passport. They can revoke your passport until you have proper arrangements in place. And so I don't want you to stand at the airport, hand over your passport, and they tell you you're not going anywhere. You don't want that to be you. It could be something, arrears, that you totally forgot that you owed, but your state agency has already contacted the State Department, and they have now basically blocked your passport. And the last one I want to talk to you about is, this is for people, and this is probably the most rare, but this is when perhaps maybe you lived abroad, or maybe you were in another country having a great time, hanging out, whatever you were doing, and you got sick, there was a disaster, something happened that you had to be evacuated. Like, and you didn't have the money on your own to get out of there. So maybe you had a medical emergency, maybe all of a sudden the place where you were, they had a hurricane or a really bad natural disaster, and you just had to get out of there, and you didn't have the money. And so the government, the US government, lent you the money to get home. Now, I remember this happened to one of our friends, and when they got out, the government held on to their passports, and they held on their passports until they paid that loan back. Maybe that's you, maybe that wasn't you. But if you did not pay that loan back, then you're not going anywhere until you pay that loan back. They're not going to allow you to go until you settle that debt, because you owe the US government money. And basically, each one of these things, you are owing a government agency money. And as a result, they are not letting you go anywhere until you take care of it. And I know you were like, oh my gosh, I'm sick of this. You have all the reasons why you should not pay the government. You can keep your reasons, but you're not going anywhere. So what are you going to do? Everybody should do this, not just the people who got the letter and ignored it, but we should all do this. None of us want to be surprised, right? You don't want to be surprised. You don't want to be at the airport thinking you're getting on the airplane and you can't. So before you go anywhere, check your IRS account right online, irs.gov, and go ahead and check that account. Say if you have an open balance, maybe you owe money you didn't even know. Maybe you paid off your debt, but maybe the interest and the penalty was still accruing, and so you still owe a little bit more. So go ahead and check. Check and make sure if you were paying child support at any time, that that case is closed and you don't owe any money. You want to make sure you do that. And if you're a person, like maybe you've already moved, you think you were owing the IRS, you weren't really sure, and you moved from this house to the next house, or you have one address on your IRS, on your W-2s when you do your taxes, but you haven't lived there in the last 10 years because maybe that's your family house, go and check with them and see if you have any emails or any letters from the IRS. Because if you do, then you want to be able to clear that up. Now, if you're already outside the US, you're probably thinking, well, I'm already gone. They can't do anything to me. I'm not paying that money. Or maybe you plan to pay the money, but you're feeling that, whew, I escaped. Maybe you did, and maybe you didn't. Because if you are outside, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't wait. When I move to Portugal, I'm going to travel all of Europe. Oh, when I move to Dubai, I'm going to really go around and see all of the Middle East, or whatever your dreams are. They will stop those dreams because your passport will be revoked or blocked or denied. And so you will not even be able to leave where you are to another place. So go ahead and take care of that. Take care of whatever that debt is so you can enjoy the freedom. Isn't that why you moved? You wanted to be free. You wanted to have peace and calmness, but you really can't have that with that debt hanging over your head. So you want to go ahead and take care of that. And now, if you got to come back to the US, oh, absolutely, they're going to let you come back. So if you're in another country and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to come back, maybe you have an emergency and your passport's been revoked or denied, they will let you come back, but you won't be able to get it back until you've done something with that debt. So I hope this helps you. Please, please, please take care of these things. Look at them. Let's not make assumptions. This is such a great time in our lives. We are moving forward. We're changing our address. But before we can do that, we need to make sure our paperwork is in order. You need to have your financial and legal wellness also taken care of. It's not just about our health. Everything needs to be taken care of. You can't enjoy freedom. You can't really enjoy yourself if you know that you have all this debt hanging over yourself. So you want to really have a good time. And I want you to have a good time. So if this information was helpful for you, like it, subscribe it, share with another person, because you know someone else who's also trying to get up out of here. And as they are, you want to make sure they don't get stuck like you are. So the world is wide. The world is too big for you to play small. But if you don't have your documents in order, you may not be able to see that big wide world. So until the next time, continue to live an elevated life.